Okay, here I'm going to go through this Universal Precast application, showing what it does and how to work with it. Let's start with takeoff. Any precast company will have takeoff section for pricing their job. Here you can have different categories in your library, such as any cast and items like lifters, drawspock, weld plates, and etc. You will also have a section for product categories like precast panels. On each category, you can have different subcategories like 200 millimeters panels and etc. Once you set your categories, you can apply it and keep working on your takeoff. Here is how you see your categories and subcategories to work with. Okay, let's open a PDF and work on it. Here, I'm opening an elevation of precast panel. Here you can select what element you're trying to start takeoff with. I'm choosing 150 millimeters thick panels and start my takeoff. You can set your scaling before or after any drawings. This is how I do scale. You'll have plenty of information which can be shown on the screen, such as area, width, height, thickness, volume, weight, and etc. Whatever you draw and mark on this screen, the information will be captured here, and you don't need to re-enter them for your pricing. Let's have some casts and items added into our takeoff. Here, I'm adding weld plates. Any cast and item can be added individually or can be formulated. For example, with divided to 200. I'm adding a weld plate per panel here. You see the weld plate head allocated to each unit here in the takeoff list. All your takeoff can be saved in different output format, such as file, PNG, PDF, Excel file. Or you can export them into quotation page to keep working on pricing. I'll show you how to export all those data from here to quotation page for your pricing. First of all, you need to have a quotation number created to able to import those data in. Once you create your quotation name, you should get back to takeoff page and export your takeoff. Bang! Here is all your data. You can see all the elements which you mark up with all their related casts and items, ready for your pricing. Adjust the rest based on your pricing methodology, such as labor requirement, concrete, consumable, loading, cast and pricing, etc., and save. You also can add any manual product, category, and subcategories with their casts and items if you want to. You can see a dashboard on your pricing, giving you an idea of how your pricing is built up, and then submit your quotation when you're happy. Here is another impressive section of this application, which you can see all your jobs, their products, details like their dimensions, cast date, concrete strength, allocated labor hours, shop drawing, production, QC, delivery, and installation status. Adding products is very easy. You can add individually or import the bulk of data from a template. The good thing is that this application will provide you a template to download, fill in, and upload. Okay, how do you create and print the QR code? In this app, with a click, you can print all the QR code for any of your products or jobs in a second and stick them into your product for scanning purposes. Remember, you can scan that QR code with this application, which gives you a variety of actions to be done on that product. In next section, you can manage your shop drawing planning for all jobs. This is linked to production planning. For example, if you have a job booked to start production by April 16th, the shop drawing planning will indicate when do you need to hand over your shop drawings to production team. There are so many options which you can manage your jobs accordingly and based on your own methodology. You can have different packages for each job and filter them to what you need. You can link any of the planned products into your packages if there is any products planned for that package. For example, grid line 2 to 13 might have 5 products. Link them all with a reasonable procurement lead time. You can easily manage your drawings. You see, by adding those into this package, it shows that shop drawing is overdue and goes red. That's a visual delay or potential delay flag to look at. To avoid those delays, we can plan different stages and milestones here within a minute and keep an eye on them. This planning can be done for every single job and manage them visually. In this tab, you can upload the shop drawings of each element into the application. You can upload them individually for each unit or upload a bulk of drawings and application automatically allocate them into their related products. Here is how I upload a drawing for panel number 6, for example. Let's see what is the outcome of uploading that shop drawing for panel number 6. If I go to the related job, it shows panel number 6 shop drawing is green and IFC. If you go to production planning page and click on panel number 6, you will see the shop drawings on screen. That shows how important it is to have an integrated application. On the same panel, you can see allocated labor and add or remove if you need to. Okay, let's go into CAST schedule chart. Over here you can see all the products for each month scheduled that can be categorized based on your need and factory setting. By moving your mouse over each bar chart the data, inside them will be shown. You also can view them month by month. Here is another impressive part of this application. Space allocation. You can adjust it based on your factory setup and available beds. Then drag and drop products into each bed for planning purposes. You can zoom in into a bed space if you want and allocate more accurately. You can edit the beds, see team attendance and absences. You can edit your factory setup based on your dimensions, add, edit or remove any beds with any sizes with any labels in any location of your factory, and allocate your products for production accordingly. Now, what if you need all the products to be allocated into a bed automatically? That's easy. You just need to use Auto Allocate button here. Then confirm what categories you need to be automatically allocated into what bed. Hear how it does. This bottom is very useful when you have so many products in limited space that help maximize utilizing of your bed and resources. Next section is Quality Control page. In Concrete Test Result tab, any product with low strength will automatically goes red. On the Detail Sheets tab, the reinforcement detailing sheets can be uploaded for maximum traceability. And on this tab, you can do a full QC check on each element of each job. You can do pre-pour, post-pour NCR by completing the checklist, adding notes, and taking photos. Also have access to detail sheet and shop drawings of each unit. Once you've done your pre-pour check, you can set the product status as ready to cast or not ready to cast. Please note, you cannot do pre-pour check and post-pour check together, as the product status has to be updated to cast before you can start doing post-pour check. Here is how the QR code scanning come in place. After casting a unit, QC can scan or manually enter the product details and set the status to cast. You see the status here in product page get updated immediately. Now if I go to Quality Control tab, it allows me doing my post-pour check because the product status is set to cast now. Here QC can do all the post-pour check and set the status to QC checked, remedial required, or rejected. They can enter the concrete pour details, stripping dates, and etc., and save it. The operator name can be recorded, and curing day will be shown automatically. Also, the NCR can be set. Okay, now, let's see how we can do people allocation for our daily production phase. On this page, you can see all products scheduled for the day and available team. Attendance and absences planner. In the page setting, you can set the list of your team and the required activities based on your planning need. Let me show you how to set, for example, one of the team member as unavailable. You can set them unavailable if they are not employed yet, or resigned, or etc. If you need to see your weekly or monthly team and hours allocation, you just need to click on their tabs. As you can see, there are so many options here in this app that you can use. If you need a quick and smart team allocation on a day based on your available team on the floor, you can use this facility. If you want to see how many hours or people will you need in your factory based on what you have planned, use this tab. Okay, now let's generate some delivery dockets for products. You can select a job, add the quantity of trucks you need, set the delivery dates, site contact address, on-site timing, duration, and maximum capacity of each trucks. And here in this table, you can see the list of products of that job with all their database. Get into the Column tab and filter them by any information you'll need for your delivery planning, such as dimensions, QC status, and etc. Once your setup finished, you'll see your delivery summary here. Here is your delivery, which we just created. You can drag it to any date and timing if required. For example, here I'll change the delivery date to 17th of April. You see the date has been changed now. If you want to see all the delivery dockets, you can use this tab. On here you can see summary of each delivery, their dockets. If I click Delivered Bottom, here let's see what will be happened. I click that and go to the job folder, into that specific job. It shows that product is delivered, but with a warning flag next to it. I see, because the cast date and delivery date is too close. Let's investigate another part of this application. Installation tab. Installation tab will show all the products that has been delivered that allow us to update the status of each product. Let's see what will be happen to production list. Yes, that product status gets updated. So, if I change the status to handover, again, the status gets updated to handover. This shows the transparency of data in a company. Cool. Now, we will need to see how you can control your expenses and budget here in this application. You can easily set the budget for each job in any categories based on your company setup, and control your project cost all in one tab and with complete transparency. Another part of this application is claiming page. On the claiming page, you just need to select the job. Select variations RO contra charge if you have any for that job. Then you go to the payment claim tab. Select the month which you want to claim for. And bang, your claim is ready based on your production planning and your job setup. Enter any other information you need for that job for first time, for example, company name, or etc. Check your variation, value, and their status. Adjust the GST percentage if you want to. Then save your claim as a draft. Whenever you're happy with your claim, you can print it and submit it to client. Then click Submitted button to fix all the values of that claim. We will move on to timesheet section of this application. Each employee will have this timesheet for their planning and getting approval on their leave, and etc. from their management team. If employee have a request from their managers, that has to be actioned before they can do another request. Each employee can see their leave status, sick leave, or annual leave balance. Let's move on to HSQE section. Over here, you can see a list of people which they need PPE, training, and etc. You can set or edit any person's information and active or inactive them. You can set the training type for all your company and allocate them into your people. Here is also the training compliance matrix showing the status of each person against their training type. You can filter them down to what you need to see if you have a large list of people. And here the PP matrix page showing lists of all your people and the PP which they have or required or expired. You can set the status of each PP of each person based on your requirements. On the dashboard page for the training and PPE, you can see the overview of all PPE, their expiry dates, types, training, expiring lead time, and your people. Every employee should report any good or bad works which they see. That way, company can see the bottleneck and improve it. Also, they can identify the good works. You can fully customize these cards here into your company's requirements if you want to. This application is using AI technology to automatically fill these forms if you take a photo of fill card in any languages. Okay, now Next part is document management section. In this section, you can have all your documents such as SOPs, task analysis, training records, and etc. As you can see here, you can edit, upload any documents into their specific categories easily. You can set the expiry date or review dates of each document. Once you uploaded any documents, you can view them, download them, and etc. Also, you will have a dashboard summary on this page showing the status of documents and what need to pay attention to. You can view latest document there. You can see their review or expiry dates, or even you can see the version history of that document. That is quite useful to see the status of each updates. For those document management, you can have all your custom category and subcategories based on what your company need. By clicking on Category button, you can go into detail of each category, even set the color of their icons. Sometimes you need subcategories for each subcategories. This application allows you to have that option for intense document management systems. You can easily upload documents even if you don't know where the document is by this way, or go to the related document and upload them from there. One of the most usable feature which each application should have these days if different projects are setting up is the map. So many companies and employees want to know where are their jobs and what are their status based on the progress. This feature exists in this application. Last but not least, plant and equipment management. On this section, you can register all your equipment for a proper inspection and management. All the inspections can be done by checklist and uploading photos and notes. This equipment management have a proper reporting and dashboard for your use. Finally, here is the main dashboard showing what need to be seen in a glance when you look at all your projects and jobs in your company. You can filter them down to date, status, etc. You can see the status products, their QC health and financial status all in one page.